Hamfest gem, Hallicrafters transmitter meant for the novice trade, built in the early 60s, and we paid the princely sum of $20 for this. And as you can see, it's a little rough. We're going to pull it out of the chassis, or pull the chassis out, I guess, and see what kind of shape it's in. Your guess is as good as mine. Stand by. Okay, at first I thought that I actually had a unit that had never been touched underneath. However, I see a neon bulb here that looks like it's been added, and over here that looks like a very suspect ground. So, and that wire, that yellow wire, doesn't look original. All the filter capacitors appear to be original, which will have to be changed. But it's very clean under here. So we're going to clean up, clean contacts and so forth. I'm going to try to do this, get this thing operational with the minimal equipment I own, which is a VOM and, well, two VOMs, an old Heath kit that can measure capacitance, and the information I can get from the internet. I don't have a tube tester, I don't have a signal generator, I don't even have a variac. It's been a long time since I played with this tube stuff. But we're going to see how far we can get. And I did find a very good YouTube channel on rebuilding these, and I will credit him as time goes by. This isn't going to be a step-by-step deal. We're just going to do the best we can and with limited resources. So stick around and we'll see what happens. And what I need to replace in this unit, the HT40, just to make it possibly safe to turn on, and that includes getting all four filter capacitors, electrolytics replaced, this black beauty, and another 0.1 capacitor. I also found an open resistor in here, which I have to go find again. I'm not going to do a total overhaul on this thing. I'm going to try to get it back to what it was in 1964 or thereabouts when it was made. I did buy these particular parts. A set of capacitors from Hayseed Hamfest. I had some capacitors I needed, but this way I've got them all. I also bought a crystal from Nightfire Electronics here in Ocala, Florida. I don't know whether that'll work compared to the old-fashioned type of crystal, but we're going to try that. And the only place I could quickly find neon bulbs was Jameco Electronics. I used to buy stuff from them many years ago. I also bought some replacement diodes. So we're going to get out the soldering iron, try to replace these parts, and who knows, maybe we can plug it in and see if it burns. Stick around. Okay folks, it's almost time for the grand finale, I hope. These are the parts I took out, all of them. The capacitor, the disc capacitor, was broken on one end, and the gas tube was also broken. And these two capacitors, the Black Beauty and the other one, and the gas tube, neon tube, were all connected, involved in the modulator circuit. So my guess is that may be when this thing went out of service, is after the previous owner or owners had trouble with the modulator. So next step's put the tubes back. And the worst that can happen is we see a lot of smoke. Contact. I got a green light. Nothing's burning. Good start. Now I'm going to walk over, put it in standby, and hope that that doesn't create anything interesting. I got a red light on. Whoa, I got a spark. Woohoo. Off. Well, that was exciting. Looks like that resistor burned up. Back to the drawing board. Smells like a forest fire in here. Okay, in this segment, we're going to see once again if we can get this thing to put some RF out. I corrected the problem with the power supply in the HT40. I spent about 4 hours at Hamcation down in Orlando this weekend. Well, actually on Friday. I managed to find one 40-meter band crystal that I can try, and I got several other ones on other frequencies. Everybody has these at home. They don't bring them to the Hamfest anymore. So it goes. And I'm using the dummy load in this old MFJ tuner that still functions as a tuner, but the selector switch and the meter are shot. So what we're going to do here is put this in standby, let it warm up, then try to tune it up with the crystal installed and see if we get any output. So that's the next step. We'll be right back. Okay, we're plugged in. I'm going to take this switch and turn it to standby, let it warm up, and if we see sparks, we'll see them together. Here goes. Nothing. I don't think I have the switch on. Okay, the switch is on. As you can see, we got a pilot light. That'll make you dizzy. And I'm going to give it here a couple minutes, and then we'll switch over to tune and see if we get any grid current. Stand by. Okay, while we're in standby, there's the final tube with the filaments glowing. Whoopee, we have grid current, folks. That is a good sign. Coming around here, looking at that final tube, we don't see anything going crazy there. So I think the next thing I want to do is tune this thing up for maximum output, and if it doesn't blow up at that point, I'll put a watt meter in line and we'll see what she does. At this point, I'm getting absolutely no indication on the meter on the transmitter that I'm putting out RF. However, when I take my $1,700 Yaesu and use it as to test a $20 radio, as you can see, I am getting a nice healthy signal. Even though I'm using a dummy load, that's not unusual, on my in-fed half wave into the Yaesu. So the next thing to do is hook up this meter and see if I get output. Perhaps the transmitter simply isn't wired correctly, who knows. So we'll try that next. Okay, so we've got the transmitter working now. And basically what you have to know is, in the tune position, you check your drive, and in your CW position, as you could see here, you get your power out. And in this case, the meter is showing an indication of a little under 4, and it's actually about 40 watts. We'll zoom in here to prove it. There you go. So, this little project is completed up to this point. I've been doing some research about VFOs. It's not promising. And crystals are hard to come by, so we'll see how it goes later. I have another rig to play with, the Johnson Adventurer, so we're gonna go move to that next. Look for that video. 7 3s for now.